Hey, welcome to Star Talk. I'm Ken Eccles, and we're happy to have you with the program. Have you with the program? I guess it works to say it that way. You can give us a call. We have a phone number up there that you can call, and we also have an email address, which is keneccleslive@gmail.com, and we'd love to hear from you either way, by phone or by email. Somebody sent me a note here and said, you haven't read the rules lately. Why don't you read the rules? Well, I will. We've got this long list of rules on the show, and here they are. Since we haven't read the rule, probably haven't read the rules in a year. The rules are you can call once in a program, one call per show, please, and don't cuss. And those are the rules. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Well, good evening, Mr. Ken.
And good evening.
Who's in the lead right now in the race?
Hang on a second. I'm going to jump in. In our contest.
I mean, Paul.
Right, I understand. In our contest, the current leader is, I should know, of course, without looking, that it's Mr. Draper. Mr. Draper is our current leader, a 5-point lead over Citizen D.
Okay. Well, I got a message for everybody tonight.
Oh, gosh. All right. Here, Charles has a message. Everybody listen up. Charles has a message for everybody. Go ahead, Charles.
Well, when the championship comes around, when the final four comes, I am going to predict the winner this year for the Cup race.
Okay. Are you going to predict it now?
No, when the final four is established.
Oh, okay. On the last race of the year, when it's down to 4, you will predict
and I'm going to make everybody eat crow.
You're going to make everybody crow? Oh, eat crow.
No, they're going to eat crow.
Eat crow. I just said make everybody crow. Make everybody
they're going to eat crow. They're going to eat crow. I'm not buying them crow. I'm going to be having steak with mashed potato, gravy, and greens, and some red wine.
Can you eat crow there at Bojangles? Do they have crow on the menu at Bojangles?
No.
All right. Well, where are they going to get it?
Well, they can fix it for themselves. They can go out and shoot a crow it'll be easier to shoot one.
Okay, well, that would be one way, I guess, also. Or they could make a snare. I think, didn't Gomer Pyle make a snare once? Or was that, when it was Barney Fife, I think, who made a snare? But we don't really need to get into that.
Right, really. But let me know what the comments are next week. I got a long-distance call from the Philippines coming in.
Tonight? Another one tonight?
Yes, we keep in good touch.
So you're talking like every night now?
Yes, because she calls, I answer.
Okay, well, that sounds like a good arrangement. Well, have a good conversation with her then tonight.
Well, let me know what the others say about what I had to say, and I'll see you next Monday, sir.
Okay, Charles. Thank you for calling. Thanks for calling. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Mr. Ken, this is Jerry. All I want to do is make a comment about my track climber, sir.
About what?
My track climber.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I'm hoping one day that Miss Shields and Ilesa, my first provider, will stop being mad and maybe they can come over. I mean, I would like for them to come over and see my track climber because I'm working out on it good every day. And Miss Shields and Ilesa, they're two good persons that I like. And thanks for taking my call, sir.
Well, thank you, Jerry, and good job. Good idea working out on that tread climber. That's good for you. Good for you. So we're glad to hear that. Phone line is open at that number right there. And the email address is keneckleslive@gmail.com. And speaking of races and predictions, let's see, we've heard from everybody except... Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
How you doing, Kent?
Good. Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I went by Hardee's this morning, and they had a food on it that we hadn't eaten in a long time on the menu.
What?
They had mountain oyster and egg biscuits, 2 for $5.
Mountain oyster and egg biscuits. You know, when I worked at Hardee's, we had egg biscuits, but we didn't have any mountain oysters.
They didn't really, Ken. I was just kidding with you.
I kind of thought you were.
No, everybody was talking about, parts of the pig they ate last night. I'd eaten chitlins before in my life, but I went into my mother-in-law's house one day and she was cooking them.
Yeah.
And you know what it smells like. And
yeah.
After that, I couldn't stomach another one. I could not do it.
Well, it's funny. I had been through the smell. I mean, sometimes I'd have to go outside when they were cooking, but I was okay. I could smell the smell and then eat the chitlins because I didn't know at that point in my life exactly what the smell was coming from. But when I got, found further information about the smell, that's when I got off the chitlin train.
Yep, I can agree with that. Yes, sir. Right. Remember me telling me a year or so ago, Ken, that I saw a Fisher cat in my front yard.
I do remember. Have you seen it again?
Yes, sir. Last night I, got up out of bed, went through the kitchen there and looked out the bay windows, just a habit I do. But there was 3 small ones and 1 female running across the front yard. And I have an outside light, and I could see them just plain as day. And they were just running all over the place, just like something was chasing them. Then they'd come back across the front yard. Then it came back to the front porch. And then they went from my front porch out to a flagpole right in the front yard,
Yeah.
And the female just sat down right there at the flagpole, and the other 3, I guess it were kittens, I guess you'd say, were acting like they were trying to nurse. And I did take a picture of it, and I will send it to you if you like. But
yeah.
They are definitely here.
Yeah.
Night before last, I was out on the front porch and I heard something do that freaky scream that they do, and I said, "Oh Lord, they're back." And sure enough, last night I looked out the front window there in the kitchen about 4 o'clock, and sure enough, there they were, just as live as anything. But I took 3 pictures of them.
Acquaint us all with exactly what a Fisher cat looks like.
Well, when I first saw it, the very first time I saw it, I thought it was a cub bear. It was a really small cub bear. But then it fell over on all 4 feet, and it had a long tail. And I said, "There's no way in the world that can be a bear, because a bear don't have much of a tail,
Not much. That's right.
Yeah. And but I couldn't figure out what it was, and I asked my neighbor about it, and she Googled it, and sure enough, that's exactly what it was. But that one I saw last night was just like the other one that I saw. This one was gray in color, and the first one I saw was black. Now, the kittens last night, all 3 of those were black, but they were a lot smaller than the mother.
How big is it?
This one wasn't near as big as the other one, Ken, but my flagpole in my front porch, in front yard, it's got 4-foot sections, coming up out of the ground all the way up, like 4 or 5 of those.
Yeah.
And when the cat was sitting up on its hind legs, it looked like it was probably a foot below the first break on the pole. So I'd say probably 3 feet tall.
Well, that's pretty good size.
It was.
Now, I've never seen one. I've heard about them,
yep.
But I've
yep.
never, ever seen one, and I didn't even know they lived around here. So,
that's what Animal Control Me told me last year, that no, they don't exist in this area. I said, "Well, ma'am, if I shoot one, can you believe it then?" She said, "Oh, you can't shoot it." And I said, "Why not?" She said, "Well, as far as I know, it's not a law against shooting them, but they're endangered species evidently, so I wouldn't advise you to shoot it, but I did take a picture of it. They look a whole lot like a raccoon, Ken, but instead of a pointed nose, they got a flat nose, like a pug-nosed dog.
Now, are they actually feline? Are they actual cats?
Yeah, as far as I know. I mean, they look like cats to me. Yeah.
Because, there's some things that are called cats that aren't really cats. Well, one thing, I guess a meerkat's the only one to be able to think of, and that doesn't really count. But so these are actually large cats, wild cats.
Yes, sir. They're from the weasel family, but they're a lot bigger than any weasel I've ever seen, like on TV. Well, I've never seen a weasel in real life, but, I always thought of a weasel as a small animal about the size of a rabbit or a squirrel,
Yeah.
But
okay, well,
I'll send you a picture of it, and you check it out.
Yeah, send me the picture because I want to see it.
All right. All right, Ken, thanks for taking my call. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for calling. Fisher Cat. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Oh, this is Ralph.
Hey, Ralph.
They talking about them hog chitlins.
Yeah.
Now you buy them pre-boiled. You know what I'm saying? They pre-cooked.
Uh-huh.
They still got the odor. But if you're going to boil them in your house again like I do, put a pot of vinegar beside of them.
Put a pot of vinegar beside of them.
Boil the vinegar as they boil it, and it gets the odor out of your house.
Is that right? I never heard about it. Never heard of that.
Yep.
Because I know my mother didn't know about that.
Well, I cook them today. I got a friend of mine eat them.
Yeah.
They walk in here and all they smell vinegar.
Okay.
You put a pretty good sized pot, which already pre-cooked. You don't have to cook them that long.
Right.
But I like to boil mine at least 30 minutes.
Okay.
And I put the vinegar beside of it, and you can't smell the smell.
Now, how big a pot of vinegar are you talking about?
Oh, I put a small pot, maybe put a half coffee cup of vinegar in it.
And it just absorbs the smell.
Yeah, it sucks it. That's what I do when I go to the beach. If I leave my house for a week, I put a big pot of vinegar on my stove, and you come back in, that vinegar absorbs it. When you get back, that vinegar black.
Really?
I'm not lying.
No, I believe it. I never heard of that. So it's just pure vinegar. You don't mix it with water or anything.
You don't mix it, no nothing. Just when I go on vacation, I'll take a little pot and I'll pour about a half a jar of vinegar, a little small jar.
Yeah.
I just put it in the middle of the stove and leave it. When you come back, that's the way I do when I was renting people's houses down there at Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
You just pour it in there and absorb all the odor.
Well, that's a good tip, Ralph. I appreciate it.
And I know you don't allow no cussing on the telephone. I do know that.
No.
But it's not on run. But what I was talking about, I talking about them hogs.
Yeah.
Around here when I was coming up, all the old folks right here said, "Hey, you from the rooter to the Buddha." All right, boy, I won't get off here.
Thank you, Ralph.
You're welcome, boy.
Don't waste the hog. Eat it from the rooter to the pooter. There's a lot of wisdom in that, folks. Phone line is open. There is the number. The email address is keneckelslive@gmail.com. And we got some emails over here. I think we got one NASCAR prediction, maybe two. Okay, well, Mr. Draper has filed his prediction, but I cannot read it until the end of the show. Mr. Draper, our current leader in this segment of our contest, has made his selection, but you You have to stay to the end of the show in order to hear it. Let's see. Here is one from, hi, Ken, Mr. Leaksville. Here's Mr. Leaksville. And Mr. Leaksville says, after a little research, he has little in quotation marks, I have decided to choose the number 24 for the win this weekend. Please have a great weekend. Well, thank you, Mr. Leaksville. You too. And Mr. Leaksville picks the 24 for this. You know, that's strange. I already had that written down. How did I already have that written down? Am I psychic? I don't know. But anyway, there it is. I already have a 24 right next to Mr. Leaksville. Ken, this is Citizen D. Citizen D respectfully requests an audit of the great book when the Liberal went wire to wire to make sure there was no fuzzy math going on. Also, Citizen D would like to know how many weeks was the segment when the Liberal went wire to wire. For Mr. Pelham, don't worry, someone will go wire to wire, and it might be Citizen D, or it might be Mr. Draper himself. It's all fun and games, and no need for the Liberal to get nervous and jump out of the car. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and I even hope the Liberals' pick wins this week. All right, Citizen D, and as he has this right. This is Citizen D's prerogative. He has requested a full audit of the segment in which Mr. Liberal went wire to wire, just in case. Not that he's accusing anybody of anything. Just in case there might have been some sort of mathematical error. Perhaps somebody, which would have been me, forgot to carry the one, as was mentioned last night. So yes, I will institute a full audit of that wire-to-wire segment. What was this other question? How many weeks was the segment when the Liberal went wire-to-wire? You know, I would have to go back and count, and I'm not in a position to do that right now. I believe it was the first segment this year, so it would have been Daytona, the Daytona 500 to the race before the first Martinsville race. I want to say it was 6 weeks, but I don't know that with absolute certainty. I will, however, find out exactly what it was. I think that it was 6 weeks. And oh, here's a picture. My word. A picture says, I'll get back to the picture in just a second. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hello, Ken. How are you this evening?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing. Yeah. Ken, you know, I was talking about, you're talking about the light last night on the hog.
Right.
Yeah, you're taking my mom. They used to call it something like, I know people probably laugh at, they used to call it, my mom and granddad and grandmama used to call it pluck. You take the hog light, and that's the lung of the heart, of the hog, and you take the heart, and you take the liver, and you put them together, you chop them up real, after you boil it, you chop them up real fine, and then you take it and put it inside of a pan with some grease in the pan, and then you take it and cut up some onion and smother it in onion. And yeah, it turns real dark. Well,
you
and,
know, that's one we never had. At least I don't remember that we ever had that.
Yeah, that was all of the hog that you could eat, even the light part, that the lung of the heart. That's called the lung. That big piece of lung of the heart. Yeah, take that and cut it up real good. I even do it. I does it now. I cook some up now. I get some, and you take and smother it in onion. Yeah.
How much like or unlike is that from liver pudding? Is that sort of like liver pudding?
Okay, so I'm thinking liver pudding. Well, I think it's about the same. Yeah, That's all. I'm thinking liver pudding. That's what they would call liver pudding then. But like I said, I didn't know they. I've always heard it as they call it pluck. Like that was the name of it. They call it. And then if you got the light in there, and you got the heart and the liver. Part of the liver. You ain't put all the liver in there, but just part of it right there, just to give it the flavor of the liver right there. And it turns you up. It is really. My mom cooked it, but I cannot get that recipe like she get it. My mom used to cook that thing, and it would melt in your mouth.
Well, I have to say, it sounds a whole lot better than chitlins sound to me now.
Oh,
it really does.
It is. It is. And the way she cooked it right there, it really was. And people used to come and they would sit around and they would eat it on Sundays and stuff like that. Yeah. That's what they call it right there. And I used to enjoy it the way my mom, but I never could get the way she cooked it. I couldn't get it like she did. And a lot of people can't do stuff.
No, it's impossible. It's impossible for any of us to cook like Mom did. We just can't do it.
That is so true. That is true, Fred. That is so true right there. Okay, so Ken, what I wanted to tell you right here, and I know, and and it is bothering me right here. Okay, so here's been about 2 months ago now. My church and about 2 busloads of us. We went to Washington D.C. We went up there to the Black History Museum, and I tell you what, with the COPD, I didn't want to go. I was sort of skeptical about going up there. But Ken, once I got up there and I got in the place there, and we went from first floor to third, it is a beautiful place in there. It is so beautiful. It takes you back in history. And, I seen there was all kind of people in there, all nationalities. And I wasn't expecting that. I was just expecting just to see black people there. I was like, wow, okay, we got all different nationality people. And the music in the background there, one of our people from the church there, one of the ladies, she was in there, and this other lady was there, this white lady was there, and they was talking. Next thing you know, both of them was dancing. They didn't know one another from Adam and Eve, but they was dancing together, And that right there, it really touched me. And to see the old airplanes and all the old cotton mill stuff that they used back there back in the day, in the history back in the cotton fields and all that stuff right there, seeing, and even the prisons that they used to keep people in, they showed pictures of how small it was. You just had a toilet in that room with a cot right there beside our iron bed. They had all of that in that kid. Now, for the love of me, I don't see why he wants to close this down. He wants to close down the National Museum, the Black History Museum. He wants to close out. He don't want to have no part of history. That's what Donald Trump wants to do. And for the love of me, I don't see why. That really bothers me right there. And they have a big thing about that now. So, and I don't understand it, and it bothers me again. So, but anyway, I really enjoyed that trip up there, and I would invite, I would encourage anybody to go there and see this right here, So, but I hope that they don't close this down. Seems like he's getting his way with everything else. So, I'm just hoping that it don't happen.
Well, I've never been to that one. There's several museums in D.C. I haven't been to yet, and that is one of them. But I'm going to make it a point to go real soon.
Well, I hope you do, Ken. I tell you, you would really enjoy that. I mean, I took pictures of it on my phone of different parts of the museum where we walked through and seen it, and I took pictures with me standing in front of the car of was that Omega Edmonds, I think it was. Standing in front of his car right there, and I took a picture of me standing there in front of it. But it is really something to see, and I don't understand it, Ken. Why he wants to close this down? I mean, this man is. Oh, anyway, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm gonna leave that alone. So, and I just pray for him and let it go with that. So, Ken, I appreciate you taking my call.
Well, thanks for calling. Good to hear from you.
Okay.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Ken.
Yes.
You like liver pudding?
I didn't say I liked it. I just wondered how much, if it's similar to what he was talking about.
I believe it's the same thing. I love it.
Well, now let me, before we go, since we're talking about pigs, I just got the picture. Hang on a second. I dropped my earbud. I just got the picture you sent now of your mom. Now tell me about that picture.
It's two big black and white. What do they call them? Them Yorkshire hogs?
Yorkshire, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's my mom at 4 years old slopping the hogs. That was part of her chores in Spencer, Virginia, right up here.
And she's just not much taller than those hogs.
Well, barely. The big one in front, probably a little bigger than her.
Oh yeah, if she was standing next to that one, she probably wouldn't be that tall.
Yeah, and but that that's her responsibility at 4 years old. They grew up in a one-room cabin up there in Spencer, and yeah. So, well, she did, and her and her parents. But yeah, I love liver pudding. I take and slice it, and I run it, I dip it in water, and then I batter it with flour.
Yeah. Now
then
you make it yourself. You don't buy the factory stuff.
No, I buy Niece's at the store.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, just Niece's liver pudding, and it's great. And then I batter it with flour and put it in hot oil and fry it till it's good and brown on both sides, and then go ahead and make me some milk gravy and pour it over torn up loaf bread, and there's my meal.
That does sound good. It really does.
Yeah, now, it is.
I've got to say something here. I'm going to try to get this picture on the air. I'm going to see if we can get this on the air somehow so everybody can see it. But you look a lot like your mom. Anybody ever tell you that?
Yeah. Thank God I don't look like my dad.
All right. Well, I won't comment on that. But you do look like your mother.
I know it. I got pictures all over the wall over here. I don't know, 3 months, 1 month, years, 4 or 5, on up. And but her side of the family, my mom's side of the family, is the Choctaw Apache side.
Okay.
And my dad's side's the Eastern Appalachian Cherokee.
Okay.
But we killed hogs up at my grandpa's house there in horse pasture. I don't know, every Thanksgiving for many, many, many years. And the black people would come down and do all the slaughtering, and just for the intestines and the whatever wasn't used. And they were glad to do that. And but yeah, and then they would dip the hogs in boiling water and scrape the hair off of them with ball mason jar lids.
Really?
That's how they scrape the hair off of them.
I remember our cousins who lived out in the county would kill hogs. As soon as it got to be hog killing weather, they'd kill some.
Right.
And my uncle would always put one on a truck and bring it. We lived in town. My uncle would put a big one on a truck and bring it to town. And then my mother and her cousin would do, everything you do to a hog to prepare all of it that you're going to eat. So we not allowed to kill them in town, but we got a fresh one every whenever it turned cold.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, we always had a fresh hog too, because my grandpa, he always killed enough had enough for his immediate family. And but those days are gone.
Now the picture, folks, who you can't see the picture, but it's a picture of the two big hogs, and Mr. Draper's mom, who was 4 years old. Is that what?
Yep, 4 years old. Yes.
And she is out there with the slop bucket.
1934.
1934.
That was 1934.
She's out there with slop buckets, slopping the hogs. I'm going to try to show this to you next week.
Yeah, that would be nice if you could. Yeah, That's a heck of a picture from 34.
I'm telling you, it is. It's a good quality picture too.
I know it. I've got a lot of really old ones like that come from my grandma. She, on the Apache side, she always took pictures, and my mom, I probably got 3,000 or 4,000 pictures in bags in here from childhood on up to whenever they died.
Really?
2099 when mom and dad died.
I'll bet a lot of people would love to see those pictures.
Oh yeah, I don't have nobody to leave them to.
Well, leave them to one of the historical museums. You know, there's museums all around.
Yeah, pictures back then from Holden Beach and Myrtle Beach and all of that back in 54, 5, 6.
Really?
Yeah.
I might like to see those myself.
I went to Holden Beach when there was nothing but a pier, and that was it. I mean, houses that we rented. We rented a house, and every year we'd go back. Our cane fishing poles would still be under the house, and we'd go fishing in the inlet. Merle's Inlet, I think it called. I'm not sure if that's what it was or not.
Yeah, there's a Merle's Inlet.
No, not
Merle's Inlet is
Merle's Inlet in Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach, yeah.
Yeah. I forget what it's called, but it was a river where we'd go down and stand on the dock, sit on the dock and fish.
Well, now, the first time I ever went to the beach was, I think it was in 1954. One of our relatives bought a new Chartreuse Ford convertible and piled everybody into it. And we went to Carolina Beach, and there was nothing. I mean, nothing at Carolina Beach except sand and the ocean. But it certainly has changed.
Yeah, at Holden Beach, there was nothing but sand dunes and all these switchgrass growing on them, and me and my brothers hide in it from each other. And there was so many sand dunes and switchgrass. I was told now that you wouldn't recognize the place.
No, but you know, I went somewhere that looked like it not long ago. I took a ferry from Beaufort out to Shackleford Banks, where the wild horses are, and there's nothing out there. That's unspoiled beach out there. Probably the only unspoiled beach I've seen lately.
Yeah. Wow. How long ago did you do that?
Oh, that was not long ago. That was about 4 years ago.
Yeah, I bet that was enjoyable.
Oh, it was. It was, and they leave you out there for 2 hours, and they tell you if you think you're going to get thirsty, bring water, because there is nothing on this island. You can't get anything on this island. And so you walk around there for a couple hours, and you see the horses, and it's like civilization has never been there.
Wow, that's nice.
It is.
Well, I'll get off here. Let somebody else call in. I talked enough. Thank you, Ken. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for calling. Good night. So, Mr. Draper, his pick is in the book, and we will reveal that at the end of the show. So, who are we missing? We're still missing somebody. If I can get control of the great book here. We are missing. Well, ChatGTP is the only one we're missing. Our mysterious artificial intelligence contestant, ChatGPT. So we've heard from everybody but him. I'll go ahead and run these down for you. Let's see. Citizen D has the 24. Mr. Draper has the. We'll tell you later. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Ken. I was listening to the conversation tonight, but no one the last couple of nights ever mentioned pigtails.
Oh, pigtails.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's a part of the pig. They didn't waste that either.
Yeah. So, again, that keen eye still working. Well, look, I have a question.
Okay.
Tonight I listened to the broadcast and the audit, watching the show. But I want to know, how do we get from pig meat to sour grapes?
Well, you know, that's humans humans have a vast capacity for covering a whole lot of different ground. And yeah, I think we can easily incorporate both of those things. Now, you know, of course, that all that is just a joke, right?
I know it. I know. That's what I enjoy. I enjoy joking around with that.
But I am going to audit you.
Yeah.
I will be auditing you. In
Yeah.
fact, I'm going to bring a team. I'm not going to leave it to me because nobody trusts me. I'm going to bring a team of auditors in here.
We need some outside
Yeah,
contractors to come in and do that.
independent auditors in here to go through those numbers. So if there's anything wrong, we will find it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, look, Ken. Now, briefly, we already have more cases of measles in the U.S. this year than we've had from 1920 to now.
Yep.
That's not good, is it, Ken?
No, that's not good. Clearly, that's not good.
Yeah. And so, but the thing about it, the confusion comes when RFK telling people one thing, and then they have a large amount of people that's not taking the shot and not getting vaccinated and stuff like that. But the Pediatrics Society is telling parents to immune themselves, pregnant women, to protect them and the child against measles.
Well, I think that we've had enough research and enough information that we've gathered and seen over the decades that we all understand how important it is to immunize our children and ourselves against measles. And I hope that people could just continue to be aware of all that information and understand that it's important.
Yes, I hope so too. And I'm gonna get off of here. You got my pick, but if you will, at the end of the show, give us a rundown on who has what.
All right, I'll do that. I will.
All right, thanks, Ken.
Thanks for calling. In fact, I was doing that. Citizen D has a 24. Mr. Draper, can't say yet, but we will tell you. Mr. NASCAR has the 9. Chat GPT still unheard from. Captain Midnight has the 48. Charles has the 1. Liberal has the 24. Mr. Pelham the 12. Jack the 2. Mr. Leaksville the 24. Pretty Man has the 19. Lady in Black has the 12. Mark has the 20. Leon has the 60. Early Bird has the 5. So there they are. Perhaps we will hear from Chat GPT before the show is over. We have heard from Mr. Draper, and we'll be telling you who he picked just before we go off the air. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
No, Ken, I'm sorry for calling back in. But look, you can pull it up on your phone. I just did. It's called Hog Pluck.
Hog Pluck. Okay.
Hog Pluck. Now that's two different things between the liver and the pluck. That's two different things.
Okay. I'll look it up. Right. Thanks. Okay. Thanks. Hog Pluck. You know, we could do a little work. We could put together a pretty good menu here, and open a hog parts restaurant. There might be some money in that. I'm sure there are worse restaurants, worse ideas for restaurants than that. No question about it. Let's see. Here's an email that says, Ken, I read that they're sending the National Guard to the beach. Why is that? Well, it's because of the possible problems on Highway 12 on the Outer Banks. 200 members of the North Carolina National Guard are being sent to the coast to spend the next few days to help with, if necessary, with rescues and evacuations, and all the kinds of things that might be necessary if there is flooding, and there will be flooding. There's going to be flooding. I don't have any doubt about that. They're certain of that. They just don't know how bad it will be or how long it will last, because the hurricane has changed course a little bit and, could change course again. But there's certainly going to be high water on the Outer Banks, water that is higher than Highway 12 in some places. And as a precaution, those 200 National Guard members are going out there just in case they're needed, and just in case they can be of assistance in any sort of emergency that might develop over the next few days, although we hope, certainly, that none will. Excuse me. Excuse me again. I don't know if it's allergies this time or not. I don't know if are there any pollens floating around out there right now? Because whatever has me now feels a lot like allergies. But I'm sort of allergic to something, it seems, all the time these days. This emailer says, when is the deadline to file federal taxes in North Carolina? I know they changed it once or twice. They moved it from April 15th, and then they moved it again, but it's been so long, I'm not sure I remember when it is. So what is the federal tax deadline right now for North Carolina? It is September 15th. Hi, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, kids, welcome back in.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
That's good. Anyway, my mom, she's working at Checkers again tonight. Did you ever have him pickled eggs in a jar when you was a kid?
Yeah. Oh, I had those pickled eggs out of a jar. I sure did.
Yeah, I think about that. When you was talking about stuff you eat when you was little and stuff, I had them. My grandma and them on Washburn's Gulf store in Reesville.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
Yeah, and my mother used to make. They were deviled eggs, but they were not the regular deviled eggs. She put something else in there, and I cannot remember what it was. It may have been pickles, or maybe it was something else. Anyway, she'd make like these modified deviled eggs that really were good. I used to love those things.
Yeah. Have you ever eaten at Buffalo Seafood No. 3 in Madison?
The one in Madison? No, I have not eaten at that one.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I used to work there part time or whatever. I worked there about like eight years or whatever, from 92 to 99 or something like that.
Okay. Were you a cook?
No, I was a busboy.
Oh, all right. Well, busboys are important too.
Yeah. Yeah, they kept me busy. I know if you come in there, I want to have like a lot of people there or not, and I don't know if you ever come up there or not. It used to be a crowd. You just come up there a long time ago.
I know that is hard work when on busy nights at the restaurant. That's really hard work.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a full-time job plus working a part-time job too when I was working there.
Oh, really? Well, you were a busy guy.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd call in and see how you're doing now.
Well, we're okay, Mark. Glad you are. Thanks for calling.
All right, thanks, Ken.
Good night. Let's see. Hey, line's open now. Somebody was trying to get through there. If you will try that again right now, you probably will be able to get through. Here's an emailer who says, hey, Ken, just wondering who's your man. Oh, everybody wants to know who I'm picking. I'll tell you in a second. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, Early Bird. How are you?
No, I'm doing all right. I went by a friend's house and he took me out there where his grill was and opened up the lid and he had some of them big old jalapeno peppers, big old long ones, and had them cleaned out.
Yep.
Had them cleaned out with some kind of cheese there and bacon wrapped around. You talking about something good now. That was good.
I bet it was hot.
It was hot, but it wasn't that hot. The pepper wasn't really. Really. He said he cooked it for like 2 hours on the grill.
Man, now
bacon
tell me
wrapped
again.
It, cooked it slow.
Tell me again.
It was them big old green jalapeno peppers. You clean them out and everything, and put some kind of cheese on it and wrapped it around with good old thick bacon and cooked it real slow for about 2 hours. And you talking about something, boy? What, golly, it was delicious.
Man. You should have stayed there a while until they were all gone.
Well, I told him next time he made any of them, they like on a shish kebab, 4 of them on a stick.
Yeah.
I told him next time he cooked some for him to call me and let me know. I'd give him $5 a stew.
I'm telling you, that sounds good. That sounds real good.
It's worth $1.25 piece for each one of them. I'd give them $5 for 4 of them any day. They were delicious.
Because those are big.
I've never had anything like that.
How big were the peppers?
They was pretty big.
They get good size.
Yeah, they was good size jalapenos. But not great big giant, but they was enough to. Oh, it was delicious.
I'll bet it was. That sounds really good. That makes me want to. That makes me want to go downstairs right now and tell my wife to go to the store and get stuff and make those.
I don't know if it was Philadelphia cream cheese or what it was, but I'll tell you one thing, that bacon around it, cooked as long as he did, slow as he did. Boy, that stuff was good. It was delicious. I ain't never eaten nothing like it before. I called him and told him, I said, if you make any more of them, I'll give you $5 for a stick of them. It's 4 on a stick.
Well, I hope you will.
You call me, I'll give you $5.
Okay.
He said he would. I doubt if he'd charge, but if he does, I'll still pay him.
Boy, that sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll let you go, kid. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, thanks for calling. Wow, that really sounds tasty. Really tasty. Who am I picking for Daytona? I'm picking the number 1. I'm picking the Watermelon Man for Daytona. The other question that always goes along with that question is, Ken, where would you be in the standings if you were actually in the game? And I know, I know exactly where I know the answer to that question. I'd be number 11 if I was in the game with the drivers that I've picked. I would be in 11th place. It could be worse. It could be worse. But there it is. I better check the time here because we have to reveal Mr. Draper's pick here momentarily, but not too soon. The timing, the precise timing is incredibly important in these things. This emailer says, Ken, have you had, or do you still have, crackling cornbread? Crackling cornbread. Now, there are a lot of people, I'll bet you, a lot of people listening to this right now who are going to say, what the heck is crackling cornbread? To tell you the truth, I'm not absolutely certain what it is. But now to answer the question, oh yes, I had a whole lot of crackling cornbread when I was growing up. I honestly never knew exactly what the crackles are. That's one of the areas of life in which I am ignorant. Exactly what are those crackles? I don't know. But we used to have, of course, we'd have cornbread all the time. And I don't know, every second or third or fourth time, no, not every second time, maybe every third or fourth time, it would be crackling cornbread. And yeah, I've had that. Now, do I still have crackling cornbread? and haven't had any crackling cornbread in quite a long time. But I do remember it. And then there's one other one here. One other one here says, Ken, if you're talking about old-timey food, how about them fried apple pies? They were like half a circle, and it was dough with fried apples in them, and they would have kind of a scallopy thing where you would close up one side and you just pick it up in your hand and eat it. And yeah, I had many a fried apple pie too, and they were very good. Almost always fried apple pies. Every now and then there'd be like a fried peach pie. There was something else that she would do every now and then, but overwhelmingly it was fried apple pies. And my mother used to dry apples in the summer on a hot day. She'd cut up some apples and put them in the car, park the car in the sun, and put the apples across the dashboard where the sun would shine on them. And that's how she would dry the apples to make the fried apple pies. And this trip down memory lane now ends because it's time to reveal Mr. Draper's pick. And we will do that in just a moment. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken.
Hey.
It's Ralph again. The guy called him my cracklings.
Yeah.
All right. Where'd it come from? When they lay the hog down and they skin it.
Okay.
When they skin it, they it's the fat and some of the hog meat too.
All right. I never knew that.
And what they do, they put them in a pot. They put that in a big pot. And the reason I'm telling you this, I just see my grandpa do it in the basement over there. And they cook it. That's where they got the lard from. I know you hear the lard.
Oh, yeah. I had lard, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's where the cracklings come from.
Well, good. Well, thank you, Ralph. I never knew that.
Yeah, like I said, back then, people didn't waste nothing on a pig, man.
Nothing at all. I'm out of time, Ralph. Thank you for calling. Gotta go.
Yes, sir.
And so that's where the cracklings came from. Now that piece of my education, that gap in my education has now been completed. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. As for Mr. Draper, let me bring up his email, make sure I don't get it wrong. Mr. Draper takes the 48. Alex Bowman for Daytona. Let me write that down. So there's that, Mr. Draper with the 48. Citizen D, 24, Mr. Draper, the 48, Mr. NASCAR, the 9, Captain Midnight, the 48, Charles, the 1, Liberal, the 24, Mr. Pelham, the 12, Jack has the 9. Is that right? Yeah. Mr. Leaksville has the 24. Pretty Man has the 19. Mark has the 20. Leon has the 60. Early Bird has the 15. We're still waiting on Chat GPT. No, Jack doesn't have the 9. That's not right. Jack has the 2. Jack has the 2. And there they are. And that's all the time we have tonight for Star Talk. We're on the air Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Hope you join us next time. Thanks for watching. I'm Ken Echols.